Well, the regional state of emergency that has been declared in Belgorod region has been explained as by the needs of extra security for the civilian population of this region, because according to the governor, Vyacheslav Gladkov, the region has been under daily attacks from the Ukrainian side as a result of the shelling, as a result of drone strikes. The civilian population has been suffering the wounds, the deaths, all that has been launching in this area. And that's why he said, looking further, the authorities will appeal to the government to translate the regional state of emergency into the federal emergency. We understand that more people have been evacuated from the neighboring Kursk region over the course of the past days. And overnight, there have been at least 117 drones coming from the Ukrainian side against the Russian regions. In Belgorod, there were 17. In the Kursk region, there were 37. In Voronezh region, there were another 37. So this is the daily process, and we understand from the words of the Russian officials that the Ukrainian incursion against the Russian territory has put the possibility of holding the ceasefire negotiations on the long pause.
As you suggest, fighting continues in Kursk. How is Russia responding?
Well, so far we've heard the Russian Ministry of Defense once again saying that they have been preventing and repelling the Ukrainian attempts to get deeper inside the Kursk region. They say they have been attacking the mobile groups of the Ukrainian military inside Russia, and they are now saying that the Ukrainian so-called blitzkrieging has failed. Some of senior commanders within the Russian military have been quoted by the Russian media saying that the goal of Ukraine was actually to come to the city of Kurchatov to take the control of the nuclear power plants there and then to start the peace negotiations. But that blitzkrieg, according to Moscow, has failed. We also understand that the security measures have indeed been strengthened, especially at the nuclear sites. But what is important at the moment for Moscow is to make sure that the Ukrainian troops are outside the Russian sovereign territory.
Dasha, thank you for that. Our correspondent Dasha Chernyshova in Moscow. Well, that's the view from Russia. Let's take you next to Ukraine and talk to our correspondent Megumi Lim, who's in Kyiv. Megumi, Ukraine reportedly launched the biggest drone attack of this conflict so far.
That's right. In combination with their ground incursion into Russia's Kursk region, it looks like Ukrainian forces have stepped up their air attacks against military targets inside Russia overnight. Russia said that it shot down 117 Ukrainian drones and 4 missiles over several regions, including Kursk and Belgorod. And Ukraine has said that we're managed to strike 4 Russian air bases. Now, this would mark the biggest drone attack carried out by Ukrainian forces against Russia since the start of the full-scale war, but it will also mark the biggest attack against Russian air bases since the conflict began. Now, one of the air bases where explosions were reported in the Nizhny Novgorod region is known to house Russian MiG-31K fighter jets. These are capable of carrying Kinzhal ballistic missiles. And just to give you an idea of how important these strikes are for Ukraine, whenever one of these jets take off, it triggers a nationwide air raid alert inside Ukraine and has been a major source of stress for Ukrainians here. So now we're seeing a multi-pronged attacks carried out by Ukrainian forces on the ground inside Kursk, but also through air attacks. And the goal is pretty clear for Ukraine. They're still trying to continue to cripple Moscow's ability to carry out their military operations inside Ukraine.
Meanwhile, the United Nations nuclear watchdog has been speaking about the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power station.
That's right. The nuclear watchdog, the IAEA, gave an update on what caused the fire at the Russian-controlled Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant on Monday. They've said that they still have not been able to determine the exact cause of the fire, but they've said that they found foreign objects, material visible from the damaged cooling tower. But they've said that they have evidence that the fire, in fact, didn't start at the base of this damaged cooling tower as previously understood. Now, on Monday, Russia and Ukraine did trade blame for the fire that broke out. Russia said that Ukraine Ukrainian drones caused the blaze, and Ukraine said that Russia started the fire. Now, this Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is located very, very close to the front lines, and so incidents like these are very common and has been a major source of concern for the IAEA.